If you love the look of vintage dive watches but want the actual functionality out of your watch, then this is a watch for you. I've been a fan of bend wrists for a number of years and have debated adding a vintage ultra deep to my collection. The 1960s was considered the golden age of scuba diving, and bend wrists responded with a line of robust dive watches under the ultra deep name. The Ultra Deep was a popular design for its sleek simplicity. While not the only company to use this case, the very clean dial and bezel design made it the perfect diver's tool with easy to read indices and an ample 666-foot rating. The new bend wrist Ultra Deep honors that 1960s design, maintaining the twin crown case inspired by the original Super Compressor. Let's get into the specs of this watch. The case measures in at 36.5 millimeters. It's 41.5 millimeters from lug to lug. The thickness comes in at 13.8 millimeters, but close to 2 millimeters of that is the thickness of the acrylic crystal. In between the lugs, it measures 18 millimeters. The watch has a 200-meter water resistance, and with the incised bracelet, weighs in at 114 grams. The watch, although sporty, thanks to the smaller sizing, really wears very elegant on my 6 and 7/8 inch wrists. The entire watch and bracelet are constructed of 316L stainless steel and are really well constructed, but do have a vintage feel to it. The watch is competing alongside brands like Oris and SoCal, as it does cost a little more than $1,000. I will give you my thoughts on that at the end of the video. The compressor style I find divisive in the community. Some like it and some don't care much for it. I personally find the two crown design interesting, but do prefer a dive watch with a rotating bezel. Nonetheless, interacting with the rotating bezel via the top 4.5mm crown is pretty cool and of course functional. But I personally wouldn't use this watch as a tool underwater and figure I would accidentally turn the crown. The normal crown located at the 4 o'clock is a screw down crown and it's easy to interact with. I want to mention a small cool detail. Both crowns have been signed with a cross-hatch design that play with the tool-like look of this watch. The black dial merges into that 60-minute rotating inner timing bezel that stretches edge to edge, giving the illusion of wearing a larger watch and remain incredibly legible. Another notable feature includes the use of the brand's original cathedral-style hour and minute hands, acrylic double-dome crystal with date window and internal magnification eye, and C3 superluminova hands and dial markers. The two things to note here: I love the distortion of the acrylic crystal, and I think the company made a great choice using an acrylic crystal. However, the company should have used an off-white date window to match the indices and hands. The lume on this watch is insane and very much in par with SoCal. The C3 superluminova has been applied on the dial markers, hands, and bezel. I honestly was very surprised as to how bright the lume was, and as a lume junkie, this watch made it to the list of watches with very bright lume. When flipping the watch over, it's interesting to see the markings. They resemble the original 1-to-1. This watch truly feels like a brand new old stock watch. The Jubilee style bracelet is comfortable and well built, and I truly appreciate that it comes with a quick release system. Therefore, swapping it into different straps is pretty easy. The clasp is easy to interact with and is signed with the bend wrist logo. However, a downfall for me is that it uses a pin system to resize the bracelet. To me, any watch costing this much should use screws. However, the bracelet is well finished and, like I said previously, has a vintage feel and look to it. The company also does include this denim style NATO that has a signed bend wrist buckle. The feel of this NATO is very much in line with inexpensive NATOs you find in the market, but feels comfortable on the wrist, and I personally was surprised how different the watch looked and wore when putting on the strap. The caliber powering this watch is the SoProd P024 automatic movement. The movement is Swiss made and it's based on the ETA caliber 2824-2, and SoProd is a division of the Festina group. This caliber can be hacked, hand wound, features a 38 power reserve, beats at 28,800 bph, and features 25 jewels. The Ultra Deep is packed in a custom waterproof clamshell travel watch case, and the overall package feels like a good product. Look, bend wrist continues to honor its American heritage. From prized first possessions and gifts for loved ones to serving our military, pilots in the sky, and divers under the sea. Bend wrist reignites its storied history, introducing new timepieces for the next generation. What I love about this watch is the fact that it's not a modern reinterpretation of the vintage watch, but is very much a one-to-one recreation of the original with a more modern construction. Sure, the watch is not perfect, as the bracelet can be improved on, and the price point is a little on the expensive side, and compared to Oris or SoCal, doesn't feel as robust. Nonetheless, if you want a vintage style watch that you can actually wear without having any issues, then this is it. I really like this watch, and there's something very charming about it. It really doesn't wear or look like a run-of-the-mill dive watch, and knowing the Benris history, I can honestly say I'm a fan and I would truly recommend this piece to you guys. Please let me know your thoughts. Until next time, be safe out there and stay humble.